morning. I'm here. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up!
What is dark matter?
Okay, we don't know.
That's great. That's why it's called dark.
It's exactly.
Where everyone knows all reputable information comes from random people on the internet. Tell me things, internet. The earth is flat. It's like school in your hand.
Dark matter is something we do not know what it is. We believe the dark matter is there, but we have never detected it. Well, what I'm afraid of course, is that there is no dark matter out there. So what one? There is no dark matter out there. We need to think really hard.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Wicked Wednesday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Guess what today is?
It's hump day.
It's hump day. Somehow I managed to hit a button twice. But welcome to the Ironworx here, right here on freeworld.fm. Well, I guess technically we're also streaming on our Ironworld Media YouTube channel, at least for the time being. Turns out it works really well over there on freeworld.fm if I don't stream to YouTube. So we'll see how that goes. And if I keep crashing again today like I did on Monday, then, well, you can find us over at freeworld.fm. Great lineup of hosts. You'll find us there every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Kick it off right at this time. Exactly. But it's a bit of an unusual show. One of those rarities that you're not going to get all that often. But it is just Walter and I. We are by ourselves this morning.
Well, not completely alone.
Not completely alone, technically.
We have Ripley. Ripley's here. She said, hey. Let me put her on for everybody. There we go.
There she is, hiding back behind a pop filter.
Yeah, everybody's in rare form. How are you before we get into the cat report?
I mean, I'm good. Not much going on here. Everybody else is still kind of hacking and gagging. Not feeling all that well.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, makes Dixie think that she has COVID. Only because it's the one thing that I don't get. Usually I'm like so empathic that if she gets a migraine, I end up with the migraine. If she gets the sniffles, I end up with the sniffles. And that goes on and on and on right up until we hit that fucking COVID. And then for some reason, everybody in the house can get it, but I seem to not. And I will say I'm the only one in the house that smokes cigarettes. But that's neither here nor there. I'm not trying to spread medical misinformation because I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to give anybody any medical information at all. Just information.
I hear you. Well, the only thing that's different here is I finally got about 4 hours of sleep last night instead of just broken up 1 hour. We set him free. Bender is loose. He's out here creating havoc again. So yesterday was 7 days, and that's 7 to 10 days is what they recommend for the healing for his surgery. So he's fine. The only problem is at one point, about 2 days in, he got out of the room, or 3 days in, he got out of the room when I opened the door, just walked out because I wasn't ready for him to be there. Usually when I walked in the room, he was on the bed. So I walk in, he shoots out, which wasn't a problem. He's not really that fast or aggressive that I can't get him back in the room. But as he walked over to the other cats, Claire, which is the orange and white and black calico cat, flipped out and started hissing at him. I assumed because he had that weird blue collar around his head, he didn't look like a normal cat in any way to her, so she freaked out. But prior to the surgery, his going to Spay Nation is the name of the place, by the way. Shout out Spay Nation. They do good work over there. they were best friends, Bender and Claire. They hung together, they played together, they tussled together. This one got in on it. She was part of the fun most of the time, but when it was just two, it's always them two, Bender and Claire. They were like, yeah, that's what Michelle always said, that's their BFF. They would sleep together on the shelf, sleep together in the window. So that one day she came out, he got out, she freaked out and hissed at him. And everything, like every time he was at the underside of our door trying to sniff around, she would see him, smell him, whatever, and start hissing at him there. But I figured, once he got out and had the collar off, everything would be fine. She still ain't used to it yet. I guess his smell has changed because he had that type of an operation, which alters what emanates from him. There's a distinct smell they have after that operation, if you will. So if I can tell there's a smell, I'm sure she can too. So she's freaking out a little bit. Ripley here with him, she's like, yeah, whatever. They were actually snuggled up on the window yesterday. So I kind of felt bad that his other sister was shunning him all day and still is. I heard her hissing at him a while ago when I got up. So when I came through with her, they were following me and he was trying to get close to him and she hissed him away. So we'll see. I'm sure they'll figure it out. But yeah, more emotional trauma for the kittens. But as you see, this one's fine. Ripley has no problem. She is like the coolest, chillest cat I have ever had. She's constantly she's always got her lids like half closed. So that's cat where I'm comfortable and I love you and everything's cool. She always looks like she's stoned. She didn't smoke or anything, but she's always like, real cool, man. What's happening?
Half closed and a nice slow blink. Always nice. But yeah, there's really not much else here going on. As you said, I'm trying to stay clear of whatever it is that's going on right now. I know it's not anything to stay clear of for me anyway. It is a cyclical, I think, time-based purging of exosomes is all that anyone is currently going through. But hey, put a name on it if y'all feel like it out there. I'll stick with mine. What's up, Andrew?
Oh, not much. I've been not feeling too well today, so I took the day off. But I just wanted to let everyone know this. Again, we did the charity last week, and I was just looking at seeing if any other people donated, and someone anonymous donated $4,000.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Holy shit, indeed. That's freaking amazing. Yeah.
Wherever you are, if you're listening right now, hit me up on Telegram, hit Austin up on Telegram, and we'll work something out for you.
Fuck, I better go check mine. I'm not even sure if it's still up if they take that shit down. I don't know.
I think you have to close it yourself.
Gotcha. That being
there you go.
Because it also doesn't tell you, it doesn't tell anyone else when you withdraw the money or how much you withdraw.
Well, they set it up on a schedule, so you can do a daily withdrawal, a weekly withdrawal, a monthly withdrawal, just automatically spit right in there, or I guess you can do it all one lump sum.
Okay, yeah, I wasn't really familiar with that. But anyways, yeah, I was just kind of copping on for a little bit here, and I was practicing some Fortnite just now against the bots.
Always a good one.
Yeah, I just need a lot more practice.
Yeah. I know the feeling.
I'm going to look for some space lettuce.
You'll get there, Andrew. If it's a skill set you need, you'll get there, I promise. As far as the lettuce, though, I believe there was a piece for $5 that we never touched on if you wanted to dig into that. I'm sorry, I'm seeing some things popping up here. Hang on. We may actually now, early on I got a message saying that Nuka might pop in and hang out with us. He had messaged me about an hour before I got up. But I didn't see him on at that point when we got live, so I figured he just missed it. Just saw him popping up live saying he is going to use his laptop to get in, so give him a few minutes.
Excellent.
Oh, he needs a link on this new laptop. Okay, give me a second here. You talk amongst yourselves while I do some linking up.
Righto.
Oh, here we go. I already got one. It doesn't take long.
No, it doesn't.
Something it's Iron Realm Media worthy. Comets that bounce, quote unquote, from planet to planet could spread life across the universe.
Read that one more time.
So NASA's comets that bounce, quote unquote bounce from planet to planet could spread life across the universe.
Hell yeah, like a fucking super ball.
Yeah, like ping pong or something, right?
I'm thinking like the little quarter rubber bouncy balls you get in the machines at the grocery store for the kids. The super balls, you just throw them on the ground and bang, 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 bang,
Yeah,
bang.
it just bounces all over the place.
All over the room. Yep. Bouncing
So
across
some
the-
comets bring death, destruction, and the end of the cute little dinosaurs. But other comets bring life and longevity. I'm just trying to understand the cosmology here.
And don't forget, they came from nothing. They just certainly appeared out of nothingness to create something.
I think that was
What?
a line from a Cottonmouth Kings was bouncing over the world like super balls.
I used to like that band.
Me too.
I haven't heard them in a long time.
It's because they don't really exist anymore. They're sort of there, but like D-Loke's there, and he's trying to get some folks back together. Taxman, D-Loke, Chucky Chuck. There's a few of them that are out there on tour as Cottonmouth Kings, but once Saint passed and Paklika passed, you can't really have the Cottonmouth Kings without the original crew, as far as I'm concerned. DJ Bobby B's still out there making music. It's not what it was. Sorry to get sidetracked from space. Let us go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'll just read it out loud here. That was just the title of it. So it says, scientists suspect that comets may have delivered the organic ingredients necessary to cook up life on Earth. And new research shows how exoplanets could have received these special deliveries from comets too. In its early history, Earth was bombarded with impacts from asteroids, comets, and other cosmic bodies
Okay, hold up
left
right
over
there.
from the formation of the solar system.
Pause where you're at. So
Okay.
only in its early history was this occurring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's
So
sort of like they had all the
like-
ingredients and they used them all up.
Once they hit
They used
puberty.
it, they cooked everything ready to go, and they quit. That's how that works. I'm just trying to work out my understanding of their cosmology. Go ahead.
Scientists still debate on how the planet got its water and the molecules needed to form life. But comets are likely candidates.
I thought
What if
there was
comets-
oceans under the ocean or something. Wasn't that the last bullshit story they gave us for this? Go ahead.
I know this is terrible, but it's fun just to get a good laugh.
No, I
What if
love
comets-
it. I'm loving it.
What if comets could have potentially delivered the seeds of life to Earth? Could they do the same for exoplanets elsewhere in the universe? With that question in mind, a team of researchers from the University of Cambridge's Institute of Astronomy developed mathematical models that helped them show how comets could theoretically deliver similar building blocks to life on other planets in the Milky Way. It got worse. I thought it was going to just get better, but no, it just got worse in that last paragraph. And it goes on for like 5 or 6, now like 9 more paragraphs. I don't think I have to go into it too much, but yeah, that's what they're trying to fucking tell people now.
I've heard
Yeah,
stranger
I mean, as I questioned you, it all starts falling apart for me when we get to Haley's comment.
Yeah,
I guess it's just a remnant from the early days of the.
Yeah, I don't know.
Their bullshit.
I don't know what Halley's Comet is. I think I saw it when I was pretty freaking young, but it's not due until 2061, I think. That's the next time it's supposed to be around.
Something like that. Let's see. Come on, baby. Where are you at? Well, it was 35 years ago. That's all I can find here. When is it coming back? Come on, story. Really? You're going to do this to me? Every time I scroll down, it like disappears. What the hell? I've never had one do this. Well, it was 35 years ago, so do the math, I guess. 35 and 75, and do the math. That's all I can do. I can't get to the part where it tells me the actual day it's coming back, because the story scroller is broken. I don't know. I've never seen one do this. Come on. February 9th, 1986 was the day you saw it last, Andrew. How old were you?
I was born January 6, 83, so I don't know if I would remember that, but...
You know, if you really strained really hard.
Well, what was the one where... Was it Hail Bop? The one where Heaven's Gate, they all committed suicide?
Yeah, that was Hail Bop. Yeah.
Okay, that was the one I saw then. All right.
Yeah. Chances are, if you had, you know, I don't know. I don't know your parents, but I would guess they would have taken you out to see it at some point, since it was a historic day back then. I was old. I saw it. I mean, I'm old. I saw it. I was there.
I mean, it is cool to see that kind of stuff in the sky, especially knowing now that we don't really know what it is. It's a mystery.
Finally, the story stopped jumping on me. It will return July 28, 2061. You were correct, sir. Now, here we go. You ready? It's going to be much brighter then when it comes back around, because the Earth will be much closer to the comet then.
All right.
Okay. Okay, whatever. Oh, wait. Some calculate. Let me get back to the start of this idiot sentence. We know that it. We know this. Oh, we know that it'll be closer. Okay, we'll know it'll be closer and brighter because it returns to the inner solar system every 75.3 years on average, though it can change between 74 and 79 years because Jupiter and Saturn's gravity can alter its orbit. So two planets that in the bigger scheme of this whole system of yours really don't mean a whole lot apart somehow can alter the orbit of this thing that goes away for 75 fucking years and comes back. Sorry. This was one I fought with my professors about endlessly. Endlessly. How does it find us again if we moved? Anyway, sorry. I'll stop ranting.
Well, you know what it reminds me of is how in the movie Armageddon, they're like, oh yeah, we're going to go 25,000 miles an hour and we're going to use the moon's gravity to slingshot you around into this asteroid, meteorite, or not meteorite, comet. It's like, yeah, this is what people think. Hollywood is to blame for a lot of this, not just NASA.
Big screen and small screen, both. For so many misconceptions. I think that's the biggest reason First Amendment audits are so popular, because so many people just believe whatever the fucking idiot box tells them. Oh, you can't record me in public? Really? Would you see that on TV? You need my permission. I need to sign a waiver. Really? Would you see that on TV? Fuck off.
Well, it was interesting though, because
go ahead.
Go ahead.
No. Go.
So, I've been spending a lot of time, like today, just listening to people in Discord, like Shane and Alan. They were on there today with like 50 people, and then they had a couple of Globies come on there that were like, you know, they're kind of on the fence. But it's just amazing to see the amount of excuses that people make, and those were excuses like I didn't even make at the beginning of Flat Earth. But at least they're admitting, at least a lot of people are, that I say, well, why do you believe that? It's like, that's what I've always been brainwashed into believing. And it's like, oh, okay, let's have a conversation. And then they just resisted it every single turn, every single statement.
It is interesting to see the new flexibility, I guess would be a good way to do it, for the mental gymnastics that's needed to hang on to the ball at this point. Again, in 2014, 2015, it was a little different because you didn't have so much information. There weren't nearly as many people out there then that thought the Earth might be a flat, infinite plane. So all you had were your basic responses. Were you going to fall off the edge? Get on an airplane? How would shipping routes work? Blah, 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 blah. Now you have to get, they're now so stretched out.
Go to the beach.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Just go look. You can see the curve. But now, so many of these misconceptions have been handled already. So they've got to stretch a little bit further to exercise those mental gymnastics to be able to realize just what the fuck is going on. And at some point, I think it's just pure straight up denial, borderline psychosis. You just cannot determine reality from fiction anymore.
Yeah, and speaking of this is a little bit off topic, but I was just, looking for movies to download today, and I came across a movie called The Three Body Problem.
Really?
Yeah, it's on IMDb. I'll drop a link for it.
Are you sure that's just not a documentary on why you shouldn't have an open marriage?
Let me find it. Where's it at? Here it is. And here's the plot to it. It's called Three Body Problem. And I'll drop it into the in the Skype chat. Anyways, a fateful decision in 1960s China echoes across space and time to a group of scientists in the present, forcing them to face humanity's greatest threat. I don't know what it's about aside from that. I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
But yeah, I just thought that was very odd because I had never heard of the Three Body Problem before until I got into Flat Earth.
That was a garbage description.
Yeah, I mean, not a very. It's actually got decent reviews too, or I think. Wait, no, that's not reviewed. Never mind. But it's a TV series, not a movie.
And who's carrying it?
Stars are Marlo Kelly, Samir Usmani, Jess Hong, and that's all it says as far as the first, on the list. But there's a whole bunch of other people. I think there's going to be 8 episodes.
I didn't mean talent-wise. I meant who's actually carrying the show, as in where can we watch?
Oh, Netflix.
Gotcha.
Oh. And there it is. Someone joined in named Guest with a whole big, crypto wallet. I don't know who that is.
Well, my guess is, and this would just be a random guess, would be Unculaleco. But, that's just my guess for everything when I have to make a guess. I don't care what the question is if I don't know the answer. My guess is
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Nuka.
Good morning, friend. What's happening?
Same old. I only caught the stream now. I'm actually watching the Three Body Problem you guys are talking about. There's a little video on YouTube. It looks absolutely stupid.
Well, does that explain what the biggest threat to humanity is? Or do they still leave that pretty vague?
I've only gotten into 2 minutes of it. It's 5 minutes, so I'll have to watch the rest of it later.
My guess is that's 5 minutes of all the plot lines throughout eight episodes.
Oh, there's one that says no spoilers. So
That was already my favorite.
And that one's 47 seconds long.
that one's 4 minutes.
It's good. It's got a 90-second.
What's new, guys? What's new? It's been a while.
It has been a while.
Nothing really new here. Last time we talked to you, I think there were witches afoot or something, witchcraft going on, and all kind of crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, that was a fun video. And I still haven't got somebody to explain to me what it is.
Really? You said people had moved away from there, though, right?
They moved. They moved. But I'm talking about people that like do video editing for a living, that kind of thing, to show them and then let them run it through the programs and software to see if it's forged to anything, and they can't come up with anything.
Interesting. I mean, there used to be a show that you could send that kind of stuff to, but what was it?
It was the name of the cat, isn't it? Ripley's?
Yeah. No. There was a show where if you had footage, they would want you. What was that? We were watching it a few months ago. What was that? I'll find it. I don't remember now. My brain's gone. I haven't had enough coffee yet.
Walter, maybe if you just play it, maybe somebody in chat will have an idea what it is.
What are you guys talking about?
African witchcraft.
What's up, Jonathan?
What's up? Hey, I tried.
What I'm saying is it gives Harry Potter a run for its money.
Yeah, no doubt. It's some crazy video. I watched it quite a few times. I mean, I could show it. We're on the radio, but, you know, hey.
So if it were African witchcraft and they went to school in Africa, would they change Hogwarts to warthogs?
You're speaking to somebody that loves Harry Potter. So Africa does have a witchcraft in school, but apparently it's based in Egypt. And the Africans don't use wands. They can do wandless magic.
Really? Interesting.
So says the creator of Harry Potter. So there you go.
Well, she would know what she's talking about. She bought her way in. Sorry, go ahead, Walt.
Not that big a deal.
Dude, I walked into this halfway in, like, what's the topic of conversation?
African witchcraft.
African witchcraft. That's the topic. Here,
No,
let me send you a video.
What about the TV show? What about the cat?
I'll send you a
because I know TV and movies. Yeah, all right.
So there was a video clip of some African witchcraft that was scaring some of the locals and made them all move away.
What?
Yeah.
You just watch the video. You'll see why they moved.
Wait, what do you mean they moved away? It was filmed there in that town?
Look, we're going to drop the link for you. Jonathan, this is our good friend Unkaleleko. And he showed us this video clip last time he was here. And that's what
who is this? Who were we speaking with?
Unkaleleko.
Okay.
You just call him Nuka Cola.
I call him Nuka Cola, but that's me.
Nuka Cola from Fallout. That's great.
Yeah, and this is Jonathan from Jersey. So
what's up? So wait, where does he hail from?
South Africa.
Is it flat down there in South Africa too? Or is it upside down like Australia?
It's flat, but we have a few curves if you go to the beach.
You know what's funny? People talk about the surf being really good at the tip of South Africa because of that surfing movie, but they'll always talk about the Australians being upside down. Like Australia is the only place on Earth that's upside down.
Upside down ass. I do see the. Oh, there's the video. Okay.
Oh crap! What is this?
African witchcraft.
Holy shit!
If you just rewind it back, there's a person on the ground, and they end up kind of floating up into the.
What? Oh shit! There they go up the energy beam.
Yeah.
Shit, I'd move out of there. I'd move out of that town.
Right. And so did everybody else.
Look at that shit. It's like, do we sit here and wait to be abducted, or do we get the hell out?
Well, the people who are closest to the alleged witch did end up moving. It's a little bit different when you go to what we call the farmlands. Basically, if you just show up there, you can just claim a piece of land and you build your house there. And you can take as much land as you want. I mean, within reason. You can't, you know how that... You can build up 100 houses. But you can grab a sizable amount of land and you just build your house there and it becomes your house. No one can say shit to you. So the people there were like, yeah, no, I'm moving. And they had to go to the municipality, so the people in charge of the area, and say, well, this has happened and I don't want to die. I want to move to this plot of land, and you guys need to help us with the moving costs since we pay tax.
I can just imagine how that went down. They're all sitting around like a campfire, so just chilling out, and it's a Saturday or Sunday. And one guy's like, "Hey, look at this," and he's doing the thumb trick where he disconnects his thumb. He does this, like you show little kids. And then the guy goes, "Oh yeah, watch this." And then he conjures up demons and floats into the ball of light.
He probably got the bar drinks that night.
Huh?
He probably got all the drinks that night, the bar bet.
There's quite a bit of what you would call witchcraft or devil worship, that kind of thing. I mean, there's even YouTube channels that are dedicated to people confessing that they've dabbled in this kind of thing, and 99% of the time they're saying that they need help, that they're either sick or can't sleep, or this thing has gone wrong, and it's a ritual. And it's quite fascinating when you think about African culture and all the things that we believe in, and then you sort of measure it against Christianity, which is, I guess, one of the more popular religions. How the parallels are just there to see. I mean, Christians believe in the devil and demon worship, and I suppose Muslim, they've got the jinn, which is the equivalent of, I suppose, they're demons. But even in African culture, it's the same thing. It's a blood sacrifice. It's this spirit that you raise to help you out in terms of procuring financial well-being, and it's always about financials. And then over time, it wants more and more and more. I mean, the story goes, it first wants chicken blood or something, and then pig's blood, and then cow's blood, and eventually it wants your blood, as in your children or somebody in the family that shares your blood, somebody you love, and so on and so on. And when you try to send it back now to where you got it from, the people are unwilling to help you. And there you are, now you're in trouble. And they all speak about contracts and how long you're going to live. I mean, growing up, I never heard any of this in my culture, but now it's very prevalent.
Yo, can I tell you something, Nuka? Like, this is what I appreciate about Africa. Like, you guys still have reverence and know to be scared about shit like that. Like, that's important. And some Americans will look at Africa and think, that's primitive, or that's hokey. Meanwhile, like over here in America, everybody's a friggin' wizard or a witch. I mean, there's women. Most of the women here, they'll make everything that you own disappear. You get with them. They'll take your penis away. They'll take your house away. They'll take your money. They'll take everything and leave you with nothing, man. So. Yeah, I get it, man. There's sex demons here. There's all that shit. Jezebel, you name it, man. It goes down the line. My lying, guys?
I feel you on the woman part. I love American Girls, but jeez, they're something else.
Dude, I used to walk around with I had a 9-inch, unit down there, only to find out, after being with a few women, it was 3 inches. I swear to God, I don't understand.
Well, it's the whole metric system probably got you there, Jonathan.
I don't know. I know my last girlfriend, she's like, I want 9 inches and I want it to hurt and I want it now. So I fucked her 3 times and hit her in the head with a brick.
Oh, no.
Can we say that on the air?
We'll find out.
Well, you did.
Josh is suspiciously quiet.
Well, somebody said one of our celebrities here he's a big rapper, and he dated one of these models. And then they obviously broke up. Sticking to the witchcraft thing, they broke up because he found Muti in his drawers and stuff, and so the girl was using Muti to obviously stay with the guy. So he broke it off with her. So now it became this big thing in the media that they broke up because of this. So the girls start saying, you had a small thing anyway.
Wow.
And the guy's like, well, yeah, I mean, even a 747 is small if it's trying to land in the Grand Canyon. I just thought, wow.
Nice. So she was using love spells on him.
The following episode of Ironworx is not recommended for children or adults.
Yeah, should I have to put my disclaimer out before I start speaking on air?
I think that's how disclaimers work.
Okay.
By the way, say it at the end.
The server worked good last night. I was able to connect, no problem, no dropouts, and we had a total of 4 listeners live.
Sweet.
That's going to change very soon. David Weiss is going to come on the 28th, and now that we know the format's better, this time slot's much better. I'm going to start lining up guests left and right.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Website's looking better. Everything's coming along. We're getting there slowly but surely.
I'm going to see if I can invite some guys from here in the building at Bellworks, because we have NVIDIA in this place, and we have Cisco, we have a bunch of technologies. So I'd love to get into that and talk about AI and other advances in computing.
Great, because somebody just used diamonds and an NVIDIA graphics card. Diamonds to build what could be the fastest graphics card ever.
Wait, what do you mean, diamonds? In what capacity?
A place called Diamond Foundry used heteroepitaxy to create single crystal diamonds on scalable substrates. Don't you know?
So it's faster than quartz. It vibrates at a higher rate.
Diamond Foundry has been trying to figure out how it can use diamonds to keep the temperature of the best CPUs and the best GPUs under control, and it's generated some gobsmacking results.
What?
Testing on an undisclosed high-end NVIDIA GPU, which uses synthetic diamond wafers, has led to roughly 3 times the recorded performance versus when it was tested with standard manufacturing materials, according to the Wall Street Journal. These benchmarks haven't been published, so these claims cannot be taken at face value, let alone put a date against which we'd expect diamond-cooled graphics cards to be commercially available. But if these benchmarks are true, it would make the graphics card the fastest in the world. And keeping microchips cool is something that's becoming more and more pertinent the smaller these components become. In order to pack more and more power into smaller packages, the industry must find a sustainable and suitable way to keep the components cool to ensure that they can hit maximum performance levels for as long as possible.
I mean, how small can they go? They can only go as small as 1 atom, right? I mean, we're talking almost like graphene being carbon, diamonds being a component of carbon.
Well, I think because it's crystalline, you need to have at least some sort of lattice structure. So I don't know if a single atom would be enough to form a lattice structure, but I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Interesting. Now I'm curious. I'm going to look that up after the show.
And you got NVIDIA right there in the building at Bellworks, too, so you can ask them.
Absolutely.
What's the deal with the diamond graphics cards?
Would you care to make a statement? Stick the microphone in their face.
Yep.
Because, I need to be able to run around on the battlefield at more than 600 frames per second. Because, my eyes aren't, That's
why I need a 360 no-scope headshot.
Speaking of video games, I'm playing this game called BattleBit Remastered. Holy crap, is it addictive. It's like Minecraft meets Lego meets Battlefield. It's the best way I could describe it.
Can I ask you guys a question pertaining to your countries? I was watching a documentary the other day about homelessness in America. And I couldn't believe that there were so many homeless people in America and that they're not getting, any kind of assistance from the government, that they're living in their cars and under bridges and all of that. But you guys have so much money to, put into wars and send shit to Ukraine and fund other people's wars, help other African countries with their food problems, yet there are people at home starving, and it just made no sense to me. And I just want to ask, how prevalent is it, the homelessness? I know everything's expensive now, but the homelessness, how prevalent is it?
Well, it depends. If you're an American, it's prevalent. If you're from another country, you get shit. You get tons of assistance. You come here and you get like $2,000 or more. You get free health care. You get all this additional help.
That's all. You just got to get over here.
What's that? What was the question, Nuka?
So, but then why won't they help their own citizens?
You have listened to the show, right? No, I'm just messing with you, man. Look, it's been a thing to me where this was a question that bothered me when I was in school, like junior high school, because one day I was going to the library to do something. I'm always hanging out at the library there in Shreveport, and this dude walked up and asked me for some money. And this was like 81, 80. I'd never seen a homeless person in my life before that. I'm like, wow, dude. Yeah, I gave him whatever little bit of dollars I had handy as a young broke dude, and went home talking to my mom about all that, and she's like, I'd never seen it either, I just thought that was all in big cities and blah blah blah. So fast forward to 2018, I guess, 2017, and I start noticing that leading up to that date, in an area around maybe, 30 minutes from me, started seeing people literally living in the bushes at our local Walmart, living in the area behind it in the woods. And you could see their little built up tenty things and baskets, and never seen that here. Now, when I'd gone to Oregon, moved my family out there, I had seen it more there than I'd ever had, but not on a huge, vast scale. That didn't happen until I went out there probably around the same time, 2017, 2018. It was nuts. Like, it was, every park had people camped out in it, and it was like, what is going on here? And then suddenly, in my area anyway, first these signs went up saying, don't, do not give money to these people who are panhandling in the medians of the street, and blah, blah, blah. If you want to help them, here's the address, email address, the whatever site, the phone number, on a sign, like an official state sign, not a billboard, just like a road sign, had been posted along the streets there in New Iberia. And then about maybe a month and a half, 2 months later, all those people were gone. Now, that program that was behind putting that signage up, I doubt they were able to snap their fingers and fix those people's lives that quick. They just fucking disappeared. And not long after that, there was these videos coming out during a big storm down here where there were people being offered help to go to shelter and saying, no, because everybody we knew that got taken in off the street disappeared. So I don't know. Don't know what to tell you about it, brother. It's crazy shit for sure.
And I think it's getting worse. I mean, St. Louis isn't a huge city as far as major cities are concerned, but it's a decent sized city, and we've got a pretty good homeless problem there. And then I'm
excellent chat says they need shelters that accept pets.
You have to say that one more time.
I didn't hear what you said either. I was trying to find my mute button. What was the question, or what'd you say?
Well, excellent chat said they need shelters that accept pets.
That's true.
Oh, right. That's part of it. You're right. Absolutely. Well, as I've become aware of the level of intrusion into some people's lives that happened when they started speaking out about things around them, things they thought didn't make sense, or, maybe shapes of places weren't what were told, things like that. It became like almost a choice to get out of society's bullshit, to get out of the rat race of the 9-to-5 crap, to pay for shit that you shouldn't have to pay for, that you can literally get for free. And as a friend of mine has very recently become one of the homeless and has shared his life with us, it definitely seems that he's met a few people that have made that choice to be where they are. Not like, oh, I've lost everything and I'm sad and I don't want to be here. No, they said, fuck everything, and this is exactly where I want to be. Haven't met those people personally, but someone I know close has. So we're trying to get him in here, and he's going to have some of that conversation soon. Absolutely soon. Shout out Hoary Sheet.
Oh, man, I'm going to give you guys a surprise in a few months. Jesus Christ, I can't wait. It's funny though, dogs and cats in our society live better than most humans, and rightly so, because you can't just find a homeless person and invite them in and treat them good, because they take up space. They expect to sit at the dinner table. They start making demands on what's in the fridge. They change your friggin' channels when you're watching TV. No, a dog and a cat, you come home, unconditional love. You could do no wrong. Even leave for 5 minutes, they treat you like a king when you come in, oh my God, you've been gone for so long. So,
can I borrow your cat then? Because my cats, when I come home, it smells like cat shit. They didn't cover their shit.
Well, I can't say that on air, but anyway.
And it's only because they don't have
Walt knows about killing cats. Tell him, Walt.
Wait, what did I do?
Every show you kill a cat, right? What are we up to?
The opinions of Jonathan from Jersey.
Maybe Nuka can send you a cat. You need to get a new cat, dude. That's all.
Funny part is, I actually have a website saved where I can get cats from Africa. I don't need that, but I could do it.
Wait, is it all the cats or just one of the cats?
Well, it's only 15 cents a day, and you just send it over there, and you just provide
the one
them.
that has attitude that doesn't cover everybody else. See,
here's what you do. You line up the other 3 cats, okay? You put out treats. You take the 4th cat, you execute it, and right in front of the other 3 cats, and you look at them sternly, and they'll get the message.
Yeah, and then the missus will execute me.
What, they're going to do witchcraft on you? They're going to sneak up on you and steal your breath while you're sleeping?
Yeah, the missus is going to kill me. She loves these things. I'm the one that ended up with the 4, because we had 2 that were ferals that we started feeding. And my dumbass didn't research this, but if you start feeding them, it's going to keep coming back, and they're your responsibility. So when I bought a house and I moved, I took them with me. And so I got engaged and everything, and then she was starting to talk about children, and I don't want children yet. So I decided a good substitute would be to get her a kitten. So I went and I got her a kitten, and that was her baby. She was so happy. And then she said, oh no, but she's bored because the other cats are outside and she's inside, and we need another one, so this one has company too. And then my dumbass went and got another kitten. And that's how we ended up with 4 cats.
Okay, I got the solution. Ready? Do you work away from the house or do you work from home?
I work from home.
Oh, shit. All right, listen, well, the next time you go to the gym or you go to hang out with your buddies, take the cat for a ride with you. Don't tell her you're taking it out for a ride. Just tell the cat, hey, let's go in the car, just like a dog, right? And then you conveniently drive it somewhere, maybe 50 miles away. And then when your wife or your fiance is all sad, just console her with your penis. Problem solved.
Yeah, that's not gonna last very long. She's gonna be upset. And then I'll have a headache. And I'll feel like dying. No thanks.
I don't know. I got nothing, man. I don't know. Don't listen to me, by the way. Don't ever listen to me. I'm the negative barometer. You do the opposite of what I say.
Yeah, I've gathered.
We're going to cut that for your promo, Jonathan.
What?
Don't listen to me.
Unlike the other guys out there who come on this TV to sell you something and tell you do it this way, I'm telling you, don't do it like me. That'd be a great ad campaign.
Well, we got the 2 inside cats, but they're not really inside cats anymore. They go outside with the other cats now, but they do sleep inside. They like the cushy life.
And Jonathan only likes cats and dogs over humans in that regard because cats and dogs don't have any thumbs. If they had thumbs, it would be a whole different story. I'm sure of it.
They would change the TV channels.
Oh,
that's what I'm talking about.
Well, now they could manipulate doorknobs if they have thumbs. Now they're coming and going as they please. I mean, who knows how many of them were literally born in a barn?
Did this Oktoberfest thing happen already? The Flat Earth Festival thing?
Wait. Let me answer this one. What month are we in, pal?
Look, I know it's November, but things get canceled all the time.
Pandemics occur. You never know what's going to happen.
And it's Flattoberfest, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I used to get so many Flat Earth videos on my recommended YouTube channel. They used to do all the people that did presentations and stuff. They would just come up and you'd watch it. I've seen nothing this year.
I'll give you one other hint. Ready? There's several months that end with Ari, right? And there's only one month that ends with Tober. Take a guess.
January.
You got it.
Novtober.
All right, this guy's all right. He's quick-witted. He can keep up.
Oh, yeah. We love Nuka.
Yeah.
Nuka's been around a hot minute.
Yeah? How come I never met him before?
It's a good question. Probably because he tries to avoid you like the plague. I don't know.
Oh, really? The plague? I thought you were going to say African witchcraft.
No.
Jonathan, there's a consensus on chat that you're going to hell.
What?
Don't get shocked. You knew this.
Right.
Yeah,
the consensus is in the chat and the Vatican, so take that for what it's worth.
No, they're actually taking, some people are taking the long bet on a long shot that I'm going to heaven. Those are the real sadistic
long
ones.
odds for damn sure long odds.
Who the hell took that bet?
Right? Somebody that's going to hell. They know they're losing it anyway.
I'll post my videos of when I get the traditional wedding going next year in Feb. Because that's when we're going to do the weddings. Although we're already married, we signed the papers and everything. But we're doing the weddings in January. So we have to do a traditional white wedding for her because she's Catholic. And then we're going to have to go do a traditional wedding for me with my culture and stuff. That's going to be epic. I don't know if you'll be able to post it on here because it will contain animals being slaughtered. So that might be a no-no. But everything else will be cool. It'll be festive and people dancing and re-dances and whatever. Also, you'll skip the part of where there's people not wearing shirts, chicks, and their boobs are out because it's part of the traditional dance for all the virgins in the village.
Wait, what?
Yeah, if you reach a certain age, if from like 14 till 22, 24, if you're still a virgin in the village, there's what's called a reed dance, where they wear skirts and all the beads and stuff, but they don't wear bras or anything, so all the boobs are just out, and they do this dance, and they follow each other around, make a circle, and they do this little dance for the community, and everybody comes out and watches. It's not a sexual thing, it's just they...
No, of course not. It sounds like an ephebophile's wet dream. I mean, it's great. I mean, that's healthy. Bras are bad for you. It causes breast cancer. Huh? It's just like guys that ride on bicycles. They risk testicular cancer. Ask Lance Armstrong. Who's laughing at me?
All I'm saying is, I've had this conversation with the boys, and they all agree. You white people ruined everything by inventing bras for. Because if you guys didn't invent bras, we'd be sitting under a tree right now watching these girls go down to the river to collect water, and you would see bouncy ones, firmish ones.
Dude, I feel the same way about shoes. I totally agree with you.
You'd be able to pick, accordingly. You won't get any surprises. Nowadays, they wear a push-up bra. You open a bra and this thing hangs to their belly buttons. That's not right.
Do you guys know about the Wonder Bra? Do you have Wonder Bras out there?
I'm sure we do.
Turns out
it creates things that aren't there.
Right.
Yeah, they call it a Wonder Bra because when she takes it off, you wonder where the tits went.
Right.
Can we say that on air?
Like a disclaimer, Jonathan, usually you want to ask if you can say it prior to asking it.
Josh's silence speaks volumes.
Volumes. Yes.
It's so deafening loud in here.
You guys remember when those dudes started that thing, Free World? Remember that day Jonathan burned it to the ground?
Keep on rocking in a free world. Is that the theme song?
Oh, it should be.
Hey, it's a free world. Free the nipple. Free everything.
The alternative to the alternative.
Everything.
With a touch of conservative. Oh my God.
That's going to be Jonathan's new t-shirt.
What?
Jonathan,
touch of conservative.
I should have taken you to Zabala negotiations for one of my cousins. You would have got the price down excellently since you don't care about anyone else's feelings.
Wait, what?
It's Zabala negotiations. It's when the guy wants to marry the chick and they're of the same culture. So the guy and his family, like his uncles, his father and whatever, will go to the woman's family, again, the father there and the uncles, and they are negotiating a bride price for her. And obviously they want more money, and you're trying to get them down. But you have to use reasoning for getting them down.
That's
one of the
easy.
reasons is like, oh yeah, if she's not a virgin, that already cuts the price down a half. Or she's already had a kid with somebody, or those are all mitigating factors to get the price down. Now, if we bought you there, they'd probably end up paying us.
Oh wow, that's nice. Some part of Africa thinks that Jonathan from Jersey is some kind of mean dude.
Well, it works well in negotiating a bride price. I wouldn't use Jonathan from Jersey if you're like hostage negotiations.
Oh yeah, no.
Do it. I don't think you're gonna do it.
You don't have the balls.
I triple dare you.
Talk about it or be about it, bitch.
You know, I'll take a line from the movie Speed with Dennis Hopper, and he says, you know, a bomb isn't a bomb. It doesn't if it doesn't complete its mission.
Quiz hot shot.
Definitely getting banned. Definitely.
No, I'd be sitting there at the table like, look, no offense, but look at her face. She looks like their uncle over there with the unibrow. No, I'm not that mean. I'm pretty tactful. I'm pretty diplomatic and caring when it comes to people's feelings.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Jeez, now the chat is talking about bras. I thought this was.
You know, even Liz. I think even Liz said off the air. She says, you know, she didn't say it in these exact words. So Liz, forgive me, but she was like, you know, I honestly think you're a real asshole. And then I talk to you, or I hear you talk off air, and you're like, you're a different person.
Just so you know, Jonathan, Liz said this is the locker room talk we talked about.
Oh, did you just say that in chat?
Yeah. So I suggest you shut up.
That's what she called it. Yeah, that's what she called it. She goes, I don't like your locker room humor. I was like, okay. Guys, I might really like this off air. Come on, I'm sorry. Do I actually care or don't care?
Jonathan cares a lot. Hashtag Jonathan cares a lot.
A lot of my humor comes out of my pain, because if I didn't make jokes and if I didn't like seem negative, I would just fucking cry all the time about the conditions of this world.
There you
Jonathan, just mute your mic. Liz is not happy with you.
Okay.
Right, Walter, you're up next.
Oh, wait, what did I do? I'm being good over here in my little corner playing with the gifts. We miss you, Zack.
Talk about something else.
When I enter the chat, everybody runs like it's ground zero, like a grenade or something's going off.
Why don't we take a little break?
To say, Axel said, flat earth, flat chest.
Hey, listen, don't go there. I got in trouble on a certain talk show for mentioning the globes of the flat Earth community. So let's not.
Well, let's talk about something more.
I think I heard a mumble of a need of a break, perhaps.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, I need some coffee, actually.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make some hot chocolate and feed the cats.
Oh, by the way,
what is it? Hot chocolate? That's nice.
I gave up coffee, and it was the easiest thing. I didn't even try. I wasn't looking to give up coffee because I love coffee. I could tell you after the break, but it's been amazing.
Well, that's actually something that I would like to talk about after the break, because I want to quit coffee.
Listen, when you do this within 2-3 days, you don't even realize that the kick is gone. I just went to drink a free Wawa's coffee the other day, and I couldn't. The taste was so putrid and bitter. Like I couldn't even. I was like, how was I drinking this for the longest time? Like loving this stuff.
I'm to that point now. Like,
yeah,
I'll drink one when I wake up because I'm groggy and need one, and that's stupid. And then, like last week when we took my cat to get spayed or neutered, whatever, we stopped to get a coffee because we had to get up super early and we were zonked out and didn't make one at home. I drank about 4 sips out of it and chunked the rest. I'm over it. Yeah. I don't like it anymore.
You ready for the best part?
Taste. I don't like the. It's definitely not doing anything for me. Yeah, what's up?
For the best part, my stomach went down, my inflammation in my gut went down, and
there you go.
And my appetite was arrested like the whole day. I'm like, why aren't I hungry? I'm working. I was doing the trucking gig. That's over, by the way. I was working 12-hour days. Wasn't even hungry for food. Just drinking this stuff, and it's like hot chocolate. So I'll tell you after the break if you're having a break.
Yeah, we'll do that. Absolutely. Do you have a way to play some music?
I do.
Josh? I just played the horrible crap I had going again, but
no, I get it.
Alrighty.
We're going to actually try a little Sturgill this morning.
What?
Why not? Why the fuck not? So we're going to take a little break. Go, well, I'm going to go recaffeinate. And maybe get a couple puffs of a cigarette in. And we'll be back just shortly. We're going to leave you here with a little Sturgill. What's that, Nuka?
Before you go on the break, something to think about when you come back. What is something you have accomplished as an adult that your younger self will be proud of? Think about that, and when we come back, we'll talk about that.
I made it to adulthood. That's pretty good.
That's the easy way out.
I only broke 9 of the 10 deadly sins. Number 6 is coming now.
Day's just getting started.
I want a perfect scorecard before I go to heaven. I mean, wherever.
Wherever. All right, everybody, stick around. We'll be right back after this. This is Sturgill Simpson and a little nod to the flat earth, perhaps. It's called Turtles All the Way Down.
Oh, I love this one.
Country music.
I've seen Jesus play with flames in a lake of fire. I was standing in. Met the devil in Seattle. Spent 9 months inside the lion's den. Met Buddha yet another time. Showed me a glowing light within. But I swear that God is there every time I go to ask my best friend. Since my son, it's all been done. Someday gonna wake up old and gray. Go and try and have some fun. Show it once to everyone. Meet and greet, cheat along the way. There's a gateway in our minds that leads somewhere out there, far beyond this way. We're reptile aliens made of light. Cut you open and pull out all your pain. Tell me how you make it legal, something that I'll make in our brain. Some say it might go crazy, then again it might make you go insane. Every time you take a look inside the fable, blinded up, ain't caught by some old man in the sky. Marijuana, LSD, psilocybin, DMT, they all say, reacid. Love's the only thing that ever saved my life. Don't waste your mind on nursery rhymes, fairy tales, blood and wine. Turtles all the way down the line. Gonna reach their wrongs, we go home. Other realms, our souls must roam. To and through, death that all comes, sweet and
And welcome back to the Ironworx. Freeworld.fm.
Damn, I love that song.
Isn't that a good one? I didn't hear any.
Who is that? Who sings that?
That is Sturgill Simpson.
Wait, Sturge what?
Sturgill Simpson.
That's a cool song.
I dropped the link in the chat for both Free World and YouTube. I can drop it in here.
Well, I just real quick. I just dropped a picture. I took a screenshot in Facebook. Oh, cool! Thank you.
Well, I tried to drop it.
Did it go down?
No, it didn't go.
Oh, there it is.
I replied into the notification, and it didn't actually let me do the link there. Go ahead.
So I kept seeing this thing come up on Facebook, and I was watching the little videos on it, and I was like, okay, and it really resonated, right? So Spirit kept telling me, you need this, you need this, you need this, right? And I can't afford these things, you know, face value, whatever. So I went to this store nearby. It's a discount grocery store where they buy things in bulk from overruns from other stores. And it's a great concept because, dude, when I see you walk away with things that are expensive for cheap, and they're not like things that are like near the due date, they're usually like, you know, the same dates for 2024 or whatever. So I found a mushroom blend and cacao and all that other stuff, all organic. I got it for like under $12. And I mixed them together and I started drinking it. And I was like, wow, this is really good because I love hot chocolate, right? But there's no sugar in it. And I'm drinking it, and within, like I said, 3 days, something changed. Like all the benefits that it talks about here, like it gets rid of bloating, stamina, you know, like mental focus and all that. It's totally accurate. The same thing. Has all 7 mushrooms, the stuff I buy. I can send you pictures of it and show you the amounts. And if you want me to get it for you, I can even ship it to you. But just absolutely amazing. Like they had stuff in the store that I'm looking at the price. I'm like, I know what this is. Like there's no way that this is $9. And sure enough, on Amazon, it's like $40. So I know there's people out there that do that thing where they, you know, they'll buy stuff and sell it on Amazon and make a profit. But I'm not about to, you know, take away other people's blessings.
Right on.
That's the way I look at it. Like, oh, and on the shelf, right?
Well, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, as I began, like years, I mean, this has been decades ago, literally at this point, when I began to try to figure out a way to survive the lovely American diet and looking into supplements and things, it became quickly apparent that they do not want people to be able to afford healthy food, healthy ingredients, healthy supplements. And what I had found is there were some companies who would take like a handful of these things you would spend tons of money on and combine them into like one product, and you get the benefits of a lot in one. Unfortunately, those started becoming like pyramid schemes and companies built on, and so like kind of probably what's going on with that Facebook ad you shared there. So it's good that you're able to find a place that has the ingredients that are affordable, because sometimes even getting the ingredients together to make your own concoction can get outrageous with the prices of these things, especially organic and pure.
Well, you know, I kid around on here, and I did the locker room talk and all that, but I actually know like everything there is to know about food, organic food, Ayurvedic, alternative medicine, and so on. And like I have people that come to me all the time asking, like, they'll tell me their symptoms and I'll give them the rundown and tell them what I think it is, you know, or what I know it is, not think. And they'll go and get it checked with a doctor. Like, Jesus, like you were right. Like every single thing. And I'm not just talking about basic like stuff. I'm talking like in-depth stuff, like nutritionally and everything else on their blood levels. Just by them telling me the symptoms. I mean, I should have been a doctor, but point is that there's so many things out there. If you understand basic food science, well, basic and medium, intermediate food science, you can actually find all the things you need, because that's all our bodies are. It's like whatever we put in is what we, you know, get out and so on. And unfortunately, if you look at a lot of food packaging now, the one thing they add besides sugars or anything else, which they do, is they put oil in everything. And when I say oil, it's usually like rapeseed oil, you know, which is, you know, they call it canola. There's 2 components to rapeseed oil. One's for the industrial use for like a penetrating oil, like WD-40. And the other one is the stuff that we get and, you know, that we cook with. And it's not necessarily healthy at all, right? Avocado, coconut are your better oils. But what I'm saying is they put certain oils into all these foods that don't need it. And, you know, that just adds to our gut health issues, which, of course, is when we start to get sick, you know, and all these additional things with, you know, our livers and our kidney and everything being toxic over time. So it's, I don't know. This stuff, all I know is that it's tasty. I mix it. I don't crave coffee. And now it's like 2 weeks later, right? Wawa started their promotional thing where every Tuesday you get a free coffee. So I'm like, all right, that's a dilemma. I got to go get one, right? I go and get one last night. I had one sip, and I swear to God, Walt, it tastes like somebody put motor oil on the bottom of it. It is so rancid.
You know, when you start getting healthier, it becomes really hard to eat some of that shit sometimes. When you said that about the rancid oil, though, that reminds me of like this whole experience, we probably don't need to get into it, I guess, but let's just say the first time I was a psychonaut and took off to some other regions in my activities with a friend of mine. Actually, it was my cousin. He and I, we had a long night of just amazing insights and visions and colors, and it was amazing. And as the day dawned, we went to eat. And unfortunately, at that time of day, we chose to go eat at a steakhouse. And like walking in, it smelled like death and burnt flesh. And I was like, oh, and I got a baked potato thinking, well, at least I could eat this. And I sat down and grabbed a big old, the little cup of butter, quote unquote, and I threw it on my potato, started mixing it in, got the cheese, whatever, a little sour cream, took a bite, and it was motor oil. Rancid, horrid motor oil, because it wasn't butter. It was fucking, whatever fake margarine they were using in that time period. But yeah, it was.
Well, let me tell you something
so
about.
All the fake crap, that removed all the filters, all the fake shit we convinced ourselves to sit there and eat. It was gone. I couldn't do it. Even I had to get out of there. So yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, that's the thing. Our tongues and our guts are coated. Like a lot of nutrients don't even penetrate into the cilia where they need to get. So a lot of people have malabsorption. And the reason why people are so hungry is because they're not getting the nutrients they need. As soon as you get that, including the digestive process, these people that are drinking, like they go, oh, I drank a green drink or a fruit drink, or I made a smoothie in a blender. When you drink it that way and you don't mix it with the saliva in your mouth, it doesn't have the same effect. It doesn't process the same. You're just pouring like just sugar into your system, and you can actually gain weight from drinking fruit smoothies every morning, bananas and strawberries and all that bullshit. I mean, you're supposed to chew. This is interesting. There was a guy in the 20s, I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he was telling people about the importance of chewing your food properly, which is called mastication, right? And you're supposed to chew 40 chews. It allows your body to develop the saliva that then goes with the food and the enzyme, down into your system. So when he taught this around the country and he brought it to the U.S. military, they did a test with soldiers. Eating the same caloric intake, people lost on average from 10 to 12 pounds, all right, within like 3 months. And not only that, but their digestion, they got rid of like symptoms of like heartburn and GERD and all these other problems, because people also have a tendency of like wolfing down food, right, in whole bites, and it doesn't break it down. And I could just go on and on. I know all this stuff. Like, I can't even tell you how much I know about nutrition and health. It's ridiculous. The last thing though, coffee itself, if you don't source your coffee from the best of coffee, I'm saying coffee like I'm from Jersey.
You from Jersey?
If you don't source your coffee from the best sources, there's this one doctor, he did a study of all the different brands of coffee out there, and they all have mold. Every single one of them has mold if they're not produced and packaged a certain way with nitrogen and all this other stuff. They're just sitting on the shelf. And I'll tell you, I've seen the coffee beans here in Port Newark. My friend, he sources coffee for Wall Street, where they then, make bids and stuff on it. It's all in the same warehouse. It looks like something out of Indiana Jones, that big warehouse at the end where they store the Ark of the Covenant. It just goes on and on and on with rows of coffee from all over the world. And people get it from the same place, McDonald's, Starbucks, and all that shit, and then they roast it and blah, 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 blah. The point is that all that stuff has mold on it. It's just sitting in an open air warehouse. It's been shipped here from all around the world. And
if people ever really dug into food production, food shipping, like the sugar that you're probably starting to hear fire up down the road from me, that sugar mill, like we did, tours of it in school and things like that. And when you actually see big mountains of sugar just piled up on the floor, piled up on the ground, rats running around on it. I mean, it's like, And then my buddy, who's the tugboat captain, talked about all the barges just filled with whatever cereals, like Chex-looking cereals and little O-looking cereal, just filled up. There's no boxes, just piles of it. And I'm like, really? That's how it's shipped across seas? Just like, yep, I never eat cereal anymore. I'm like, wow, crazy.
I'll tell you the one good thing about coffee and why people like it, and I'm not saying there aren't benefits to caffeine. It's not the coffee itself. So caffeine, okay, is a vasodilator, meaning it causes like our veins to widen and allows greater blood flow, okay, particularly in the muscles and the lungs. So that increases your breathing and your performance. That's a fact. So caffeine is a positive thing. That's why those 5-hour energy drinks work, and so on and so forth. But here's one that you never heard, and I just learned about it recently. Every single one of our cells has a nicotine receptor on it. And if you want to get rid of the side effects of the shots, if you've had the vaccines, those vaccines are bioweapons that were developed from different forms of snake venom. They know this for a fact, okay? It was developed in a lab, the Wuhan lab. We already know that backstory. Well, the people that are getting blood clots, the reason being is that the clotting factor of the snake venom is 30 times greater than our body can handle. So they found out that if they put on people on nicotine patches, 7 milligrams, which is the smallest dose, for 6 days, it frees up that binding agent of the spike proteins that are on all our cells, puts it back in the bloodstream, and then you can extricate it out of your system.
That's nuts. I had no idea about that.
I could put up the video for you guys. I could send you the link where the guy talks about this in depth. And when he said it, I knew it was. What's that? What's that?
I turned my camera on. I turned the camera on and it makes echoing.
Oh. Yeah, no, it just when I was listening to this guy talk, I knew everything he was saying was accurate because, like I said, I understand medicine as well, and started doing the research on the white papers and all that, and it showed the exact process, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I was like, oh, here's the best part. Ready for this? People think that they're addicted to nicotine when they smoke. It's not. It's the chemicals they put in it. When the manufacturers of cigarettes back in the day first started making them, they were just like, people aren't buying them enough. It's not as addictive. They actually he named the chemical. I can't think of the name of it, but that's the thing that triggers us to keep wanting more cigarettes. It's not the nicotine itself. So it was a fascinating video. I'll send you the link after if you're interested.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we talked about that, I think, on last show, the difference between what cigarettes give you and what true tobacco gives you.
Well, there's several things you can do actually as protocols to, rid your body of a lot of the harm that you've done. And even fasting itself, and you go into autophagy or autophagy, it's spelled AUTOPHAGY. Look it up. When you go on a fast greater than 24 hours, there's different metabolic processes that take place. Within 72, if you can go that long, it'll actually start, like your body will start to scavenge or, scrounge up like all the bad cells first, right before it goes into muscle tissue and start wasting away like to a true state of ketosis. It'll actually go after like tumor tissue. It'll go after any bad cells, and it'll actually, use them as fuel and break them down into proteins and then use that as energy. So you'll actually start to rid yourself of cancers and other things through fasting. I mean, that whole mechanism, if you can get yourself on a 16-8 regimen, meaning you go 16 hours without eating, and then you can eat within that 8-hour window and then no eating, that's the proper way to eat. The Essenes ate this way, where they would only have one big meal at noon, and then they wouldn't eat for the rest of the night. Maybe they'd have some broth or something before, maybe around 5 o'clock, and then their body would be healthy. And that includes, eliminations and everything like that. But if you do fenbendazole, which is you can get for free without a prescription, that you use on animals and stuff, it's an anti-parasitic. Ivermectin, and also chelation in your body using borax, you will get rid of like 90% of the toxicity and shit in your system, including through the borax, you'll decalcify your pineal gland. And your mental acuity will come back. Your erections will be amazing. Within 3 days, you start on borax, man, you'll be like it's super libido. Forget like Viagra. There's so many benefits to the stuff that our system's just like bogged down and clogged down with all this shit, all this food products. We don't even eat real food 90% of the time. So that's it. I'm done with my rant. I want to know what the secret question was.
Dude. This is fucking awesome.
Nah, I don't want people to think I'm a good guy.
Well, I'm recording
I know,
this.
you're fucking up.
I am recording this.
You are fucking up your rep.
What's the question Nuka had? Nuka had a question before the break.
What you got, Nuka? You even here anymore?
The question was, are there any accomplishments as an adult that I think that your younger self would be proud of? Or something to that effect.
Thank you, Josh.
You're welcome. I have members.
What about you guys? What were your accomplishments?
Depends on the younger self, I suppose. I guess I don't know. Like something that my younger self would be proud of. I don't know that there's that there, but I don't know that my younger self or my current self necessarily looks at things like that. But go ahead, Walt.
Right. I was going to say, I agree with you on which stage of myself or would that question be more pertinent to asking, you know? I mean, I'm pretty damn proud of some of the things we've had happen here on this show, some of the things that have been said, some of the aha moments that amazing people we've met have come on and given us, some of those right now on the panel with us. Meeting people completely that I never in a bazillion years would have met and gotten to know and love. One of them for sure on this panel right here. That's how I met Nuka. He came to one of my silly little videos that, you know, I was doing on my channel, on the Flat Earth Head channel, and commented on it, how he was starting to find Flat Earth, and people around him were like, you know, shunning the idea and like reaching out. And now he's hanging out with us as often as he can, and he's become a lifelong friend. That to me would be an amazing accomplishment over the last 8 years of my life, as this has become the thing that, you know, drives me, I guess. But 25 years ago, it would have been a whole different answer, you know, and a whole different topic, a whole different situation, you know. I know there are things I've done that have made differences in people's lives throughout my life. Some of those things, looking back, may have pointed people in a direction that I thought was the correct one, and now I've learned maybe wasn't, you know. So that's, again, one of those questions that's hard to really set a final answer with. But, you know, like I said, hanging out here has been pretty amazing. So I don't know if the young me would call it an accomplishment, but, you know, success for everybody is a different package, I guess. If you judge it by baubles and whatever, that's one thing, but I don't judge it that way. I judge it by a different game, energy-wise. So I feel like I'm ranting now. So what you got, Andrew?
Commercial sound and video says, my younger self will be proud I'm not a Globa Nasal fanboy.
There you go.
Well, yeah, I think it does vary for a lot of different people, but in regards to myself, it depends on the age. And like, if I was 14, it'd be like, yeah, I lost my virginity finally.
Right.
Or if I was 25, it's like, oh, now I'm not a renter anymore, I'm a homeowner. Something like that.
Right,
and,
different stages.
We have a super chat from I Want to Know More.
I see that. Thank you so much, Jeremy.
I just got back over there. Thank you, Jeremy, and thank you for pointing that out. Nuka, I just got back and saw it, man. We appreciate that. And you're right, sir. It is a great conversation. But yeah, it definitely... You know, and then you start getting into that whole thing where, okay, so things I've done now... Is there any way that could be affecting things I've already done? Is there causality in reverse? Is time what we think it is? Is any of this what we think it is? I don't know. I know there's been things I worked on back in the day that, you know, some would call it guided imagery, some would call it self-hypnosis, some would call it past life regression, some would call it lunacy, but...
Woo-woo.
Right, exactly. Some would call it that kind of shit as well. But doing those things, you start seeing patterns. I don't know. I don't want to start another rant. What's yours exactly there, Jonathan?
No, you know, it's funny. I was just about 2 days ago, I was walking and talking with myself like I do, many voices in my head. I was out in the woods, and I was, for some reason, I was having a dialogue with that whole inner child thing, not trying to. It was like, part of me was just thinking back to my younger self, and like, if I could tell myself then what I've experienced now, by now, how many things I would alleviate myself from. Like, I would be my best mentor, where I didn't get that kind of guidance from my father or my counselors in school or anybody else. You know what I mean? I would have like said, listen, man, like all this shit you're carrying with yourself, you're burdening yourself with stress and fear in this, like, here's what's going to happen. And then putting it, you know, in context of like the world we're in now, I don't know if my younger self would have even been able to like digest it, except coming from me, right? Anybody else, I would have thought like, oh, you're crazy. But if I went back in time and I said, look, this is what's going to happen, you know, and I could save you for some critical mistakes, like that. I could tell you which ones were beneficial, that were actually beneficial in the long run, and others that weren't. But you know, there's certain things you wouldn't want to ruin either. You would want it to be natural experience, right? Because you can't possibly. But no, like as far as forward accomplishments, I don't know if I ever had goals to that end. I was always like still hoping for world peace and things like that, and hopefully I accomplish that one day to
Right.
contribute towards that. You know, like I do things on a small scale every day to help other people. But yeah, no, I don't think I ever set out like with goals in mind, like what's you know, the first time I got, you know, with a woman or something like that, like, hey, this is great. It was more like, when are we going to be done so I can get back to my video games?
Just so you know, Jonathan, they're running a poll in chat. Who would be scared to meet Jonathan in the woods?
Shut up.
It's a very informal poll.
Depends on the circumstance. If you were stuck with me and it was like the end of the world, I'm like the professor
They
of a
also
guy
added
that
a
want to be in the
caveat.
woods.
You talking to yourself.
Yeah, I'm that guy on the trail, and you know, I'm mumbling to myself when I got the hood on. And
Okay, I got another question for you guys. Jonathan, this is right up your alley.
all right.
Ouch.
What was your first experience with sex like?
It was right up his alley.
Wow.
Ba-doomps. Oh.
Listen here, men who stares with goats. Don't be picking on me.
Walt, you can go first this time.
No, not me. No, Lord. There was one. I'm still a virgin. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I can't even say that on air. Of all the things I've said on air, I can't even say that.
What about you, Josh?
Mine was pretty unremarkable. Well, it was a small town, so it's like there's a few family names that sort of everybody knows, because there's, you know, only so many people in the county, and the big families start to make up a majority of those. So it was one of the bus drivers had a daughter that was a year behind me, and she had been dating a guy that was a year ahead of me. And they were sort of on and off, and they were off at the time. So I drove over and was hanging out and put on The Lion King. And this really did set the tone. I found that one of the greatest aphrodisiacs there is a Disney movie, for whatever reason. Probably something to do with the subliminal messaging or something going on with the frequencies.
Oh, I'm sure all that pedophilic subliminal stuff, yeah.
But yeah, it was a reoccurring theme in my early sex life, were Disney movies. But yeah, her folks were...
So wait, instead of Netflix and chill, it was Disney Flicks and chill?
Exactly.
Huh.
Yeah,
Mine was actually Planet of the Apes. That was what was on that night while I was over where she was babysitting.
I'll just say this much, all right, and I'll leave out the details. I was underage, definitely way under 18. Let's just say that. And she was definitely over 30. How's that?
Interesting.
Answers lots
Yeah,
of
I was a
questions.
younger lad and she was an older. She was like 3 grades ahead of me. Yep.
Yeah.
Is Andrew still around?
Andrew's still working on it too.
Oh, you want to hear like the first
He's
time
like
I
me.
fucked a
He's a
girl?
bird.
As long as it doesn't involve statutory
Well, I
rape,
mean, as long as
suppose.
you don't like get us like. Yeah.
Even I never stooped so low as to talk about this topic, but we'll entertain Nuka. Go ahead.
Well, I was dressed up as a clown, and No, just kidding.
And the little boy was sitting in a chair. Okay, John Wayne.
The goat had just came in the room.
No, ironically, it was a girl I wasn't really dating. It was kind of like a halfway date kind of situation. And, we'd make out and do all that kind of stuff. And right before I went to the military, like the day before, that's when she finally took her shirt off and just like threw me down on her bed. And she was like, "We're doing this." And I was like, "Oh shit." And that's kind of what happened.
Yeah.
That's cool. And by the way, to answer Nuka for that poll in the woods, I'm not going to lie. When I see like an attractive jogger coming my way, like because people jog in the woods, and they smile at me and you say,
"Stop now before you complete that train of thought."
Right.
No, and you see them smile and you say hello. I let them see me turn around slowly towards them, like I follow them, and then I take a few steps towards them and I see how fast they can actually run. It's amazing. But then I'm not into exercise.
You're just encouraging aerobics. That's all.
I'm a heavy set guy. What am I going to go chasing a woman in the woods for? Jason walks. Like, come on.
I've got 3 letters for you, Jonathan.
What?
BTK.
ETK.
BTK.
I don't know. BTK.
BTK.
I don't know what that means.
Well, the B allows them to stop running. There was a guy out there called the BTK killer.
Good, guys. Loved all the years with y'all. And
everyone in chat is sharing their experience as well, by the way.
Bind, torture, kill. That was the BTK.
Oh, Jesus, no. Not my style.
The views of Josh Corey may not reflect that.
That is not my style. Although, my wife and I, we were in the woods once, my second wife. I can't even say that on air. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
And, look out, Miss Tribune in chat.
I'm going to suggest this. Listen, if you have your husband or wife and you're into you just want to spice up your sex life and you're going for a walk in the woods, play this game called Run, Chase, and Rape. I got to tell you something. After you chase somebody for a half a mile, you are not in the mood to have sex. So all those movies are a lie. You're not in the mood to do anything after a half-mile run. Anyway, go ahead.
What's one?
You just got to catch him before the adrenaline crash. Yep.
Shall I carry on? Shall I do another one?
Might as well.
I think you've asked enough of those fucking questions, Luke. No, I'm messing with you, man.
Why do you mind your own effing business over there in flat Africa?
Yeah. Damn. We just saw Jonathan start.
Fucking instigator. I came
right,
on,
that's what I'm saying. We just
I came into this hour with good information. I tried to keep it clean.
I didn't know you guys were gonna go off and do that.
Right.
But my questions are simple. I mean, the next one was, how did you know when you fell in love? This is right up
this guy's a fucking instigator.
Yeah,
he's an instigator.
He's always been trouble.
Seriously. He's like the devil.
Come on, Walt, you have to answer.
You guys are just now getting the Barbara Walter interviews over there in Africa, I take it?
And to be fair, what are the odds this show would come with any really interesting information at first anyway? So.
No, it's been awesome, bro. I'm just giving you shit.
Come on, Walt, answer the question. How did you know when you fell in love?
There was one. I'm still looking for it. No, I definitely think that
But you didn't call the police.
I'm sorry.
But you didn't call the police.
Right. I mean, there's being in love, and then there's having a relationship that is a loving relationship. And then there is requited love. There is relationships where you start out in love and that doesn't wind up being the actual thing. I mean, I don't know. It's all that starts getting into a huge thing, I suppose. I found my best friend, and that's who I am with now, and I love her to the end of days. But those other people I loved throughout my life were equally my friends and equally people that I was at that point, willing to hang out with and spend a whole lot of time with. It may not have stayed that way, because people either grow apart or they grow together. I know that sounds like such a cliche, but it's really a fact. And you really get that hammered home as you find out things over these last 8 years about the world around you and the people around you and the belief systems around you and how entrenched they can be in some people, that maybe love doesn't win every time. I was lucky enough it did, but I know some personal people that were actually part of the formation of the Iron Realm media who actually lost their family, their love, their wives behind just a belief, just a thought, just a question, So I know I took this way far from your original question, Nuka, but definitely that feeling of, being in love, that chemical reaction, that giddiness, that thing is one thing, but knowing that I would die for another person didn't happen until, later in life. So I don't know. It just depends on your definition of love, I suppose.
Nicely measured answer. And we have Josh next.
Well, the first way I interpreted your question was sort of the way Walt did. And there's, a few different ways to answer that. But I think what was most striking to me was the way I reinterpreted the question, and it was really kind of when I started to get sober and I lost my obsession with alcohol. And I really stopped. I broke the habit of being an ass and stopped basically being narcissistic and learned that it's sort of okay to care about other people more than myself. And it was at that point that I realized that I was sort of living then, not in the selfishness, but I was in love. And I don't always stay there, but that's sort of the goal to where I've been, is just learning to live in love and hoping to use it to guide the decisions that I make, though it's not very often that I accomplish it, but that's the goal anyway. So it would have probably been some time I got
that was
sober.
awesome, Josh.
Yes, Josh, that was very nice. Before we let Jonathan answer, commercial sound and video says, "I love Australian women." And on that cue, Jonathan, you're up. Silence.
Something about silence makes me sick.
Jonathan knows he's in love when he goes through the trouble of building a woman an entire den of zen and then just handing the keys over to her and walking away saying, "You're welcome."
Wait, what? What'd you say? What did you just say?
Well, the question was, how did you know when you were in love? And then the question came to you, your answer, but you were quiet, so I answered for you.
Well, that's not exactly true. Not all of it. That story hopefully is put away on the shelf and won't be revisited, because there's only one ending to that story. We won't go there. No, yeah, I got nothing.
Shocker. Andrew?
That's a complicated question. Well, when we're young, going through puberty, and you start becoming like really attracted to, people of the opposite sex and all that, and then I got into a relationship when I was about 15. It was like my first girlfriend. I thought I was in love. I never told anyone except for my parents, like, "I love you," till that time. And she was saying the same thing to me, but at the same time, that didn't last very long. Because, I still love her, but it's like, but being in love, it's a little bit different because you can love a cat or a bunny in a different way than you can love your mom or a girlfriend. So there's different tiers of love, I would say, different types of love. Like I love Italian food. So I don't know. It's a difficult question.
Can I just recommend, forget cats and bunnies, I would recommend sheep. But anyway, that's just me.
Omega Genesis says, don't confuse love and lust.
There you go. It's absolutely true.
Yeah. But when your hormones are raging at young ages, then it's lust that is confused with love.
No, you know what? I think you actually know that you were in love. It's always in the past tense. Not because you lost it, but because you start to see like the dynamics of it clearer without the emotional. And when you're emotionally involved, there's kind of like blurred lines throughout the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But when you see like the sacrifice, or you see what you were actually contributing to the relationship, or what they were, then you can actually sit back and say, okay, that was love. Like I realize now, like my second wife, Robin, was like definitely the love of my life, and I told her that recently. We were having a talk. I was at a church function that her husband's a pastor now. He just became a pastor, and they had a revival. This guy was up from Texas. It was a great event, but we were talking afterwards, and there was something she said during the relationship, which at the time I couldn't grasp. It didn't have the same effect, but now it has so much relevance to the life I'm living right now that it actually like saved me in many ways. And I told you that irony, how they saved my life, right? When I was up in Vermont.
I do think so. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So, love is a funny thing. It's a funny question.
Jonathan, that was actually quite insightful.
Yeah, don't get me to break it down into agape and all that other good stuff.
Right.
Well, that's sort of the direction that I went. It's that agape love that I try to mirror out there. When I say being in love, that's what I try to mirror out and radiate out, is that agape love. Not necessarily romantic or lustful, but just sort of a generalized, almost fatherly love for everyone.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, if you go by the three, there's 8 different types of love that I think it's the Greeks talk about, but the 3 basic ones are eros, philos, and agape, right? So that you have the erotic love, of course, and then you have philos, which is like your brotherly love to neighbors, and then agape, which is like the Christ-like love, which we should all be focused on more, which is more self-sacrificing.
100% agreed.
I prefer interdependence over codependence. Let's just put it that way. And so I'm very select on my relationships now, and I've chosen to stay out of relationships. Even when I was down, I had so many choice opportunities in Florida. There's so many single women accomplished and everything else, and they had something to bring to the table. And it's not that I just didn't have the energy to invest emotionally or anything else, because the world itself right now, I guess, as you get older, your priorities shift, right? These are women that are in their 30s, still wanted kids, like a multitude of things that didn't interest me anymore, especially in the scope of and the face of like what we're doing in the world right now. I praise and I say many blessings to anybody who has children now, but at the same time, I dread to think of like the world that those kids are coming into, the way things are going on the current trajectory. So
absolutely. And at this point, my son's the age I was when I had him, and he is in a relationship, and we know these things happen, and it would like well, I mean, I've already got grandkids in the world that I have to worry about the crap they're subjected to, the school crap they went through, and it's like it enrages me sometimes to see this world and what it's doing to the children.
How old
and
is your
that's
son?
People's children I don't know. He's 25.
Yeah, my son's 20. He still hasn't, like, he's not even interested. He had 2 girls ask him out in high school. He's in college. I said, "You going to any parties? You hanging out with anybody?" He goes, "No." He goes, "I don't have time for that shit." And he said the word shit. It was the first time I heard the kid curse, and it, like, freaked me out. Because these kids never curse. He told me at a young age, he was like 9 years old. He goes, "I made a promise myself never to curse." Like, "Is daddy that bad?" And he goes, "No, it's not because of you." It's like, I just don't like the way it's, I just won't curse. And until he went to college, he said shit the other day, and I was like, "What'd you just say?" You know, like that. Like, I was, I've never reprimanded him. Man. I was so proud of him, like, that he actually said the word shit. But he says, yeah, he goes, he still has a 4.0, and he still focuses on the band and playing the esports. And he says, "I got no time." He goes, "All my friends want to go out and get, drunk and do whatever." So this kid's not getting laid anytime soon, which is fine by me. But he said, what he said the other day, he was sick, and I got worried, with the shots and everything and shedding and all that stuff, the symptoms he was talking about. And it turns out he had something called the Coxsackie virus. I don't know if you ever heard of this.
It's new for me, no.
So I'm like, what the hell is that? Is it, were you on a date with some purple-haired girl, and then all of a sudden, like, you're tied to the bed and she's rubbing her ball sack on your face? Like, is that the Coxsackie? I was like, oh, that's the Coxsackie virus. Never mind.
Oh my!
And he goes, "That's not funny." I was like, well, that's your gender equality in your school system these days. But in any case, no, he got over it. It gives you, like, blisters on your hands and feet, and he couldn't even wear and on your face, and he couldn't even wear his glasses. He couldn't go to class for a week. And this kid has never missed school. I used to try to give him a sick of day, have a sick of school day, and take the day off, play hooky with daddy. And he's like, "No, I got to go to school." Right. So it was a lot for him to actually keep himself out for a week. He was like contagious and all that shit. But yeah, nowadays, that's the thing in colleges with the vaccines and everything else. Like, you don't know what you're going to catch from people. They say STDs are at, like, an all-time high, especially, like, throat cancers and stuff from HPV and stuff. That's, like, a real thing.
Jonathan, with what you said about the ancient Greeks and their idea of love, I think you said there was 9. I
thought there was eight or nine. I thought.
I remember 6 because we had to cover this in high school, and it just takes me back to, I remember the first one was eros, sexual love, or what the teachers just said, passion. And there was philia, the deep friendship kind of
like
love,
Philadelphia, like brotherly love. Yeah,
there you go. There was ludus, which was love between, like, children or, like, young lovers. Like,
wait, gluteus? Did you say gluteus? Glutos?
Ludus.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, like, gluteus maximus. Never mind. Go ahead. That's a different love.
And then there was agape or agape.
Yeah, agape. That's Christian, like, higher love, like God-like love.
Yeah, there we go. I think there was philatia, love of self. I think everybody knows about that one. And then pragma, which was the way it was explained is the love of long-standing couples. Like, you've been married 30, or you've been living with this person 30, 40 years, is different than the love you shared when you first met. So it needed its own,
like, pragmatism. Like, it's pragmatic.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I remember 6. I didn't know there was 8.
Store. Oh, man. Something like that. Store. I'm going to look it up. Hang on. Okay, right. It's eros, as you said, phila. Erotoropia, which is the flirtatious, playful love. Storage. Just storage, not storage. Unconditional familial love. Sorry, I'm suddenly dry mouth. Hang on. Philautia, compassionate self-love. Pragma, committed, compassionate love. And the agape, emphatic, universal love. And isn't it like, is it Chinese that has, like, let me check before I say something stupid. Hang on.
We got about 7 minutes left before we hit the end of the show. And just as a reminder, FMX Radio on freeworld.fm is coming up next, right after this show. So if you are here, stick around after the end and hang out with Chris and Austin. Flatman
What is their show about?
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah?
They get into some pretty good conversations over there, too. Hopefully they will have the audio worked out, he says. Hopefully so. I've come to the determination, and I had to tell Billy Ray this, that I can help people get the software installed on their computer that broadcast using this tool. I can get the butt on their computer, but as far as setting up their audio, I just can't do it. I cannot do it. My shit is so wonky that
I had to play with my settings so many times. I finally got it right for me and Angel.
Right. I was going to say that too, Jonathan, that it's pretty much everybody's got to do their internal stuff for themselves. You know, once you got the tools to work with, you can get there. But just like me trying to work out this audio with the AB cables, I was there twice and then it just went away. So it can be done. It's just you got to work at it. And watch some videos. There's videos out there that will help you figure some of this stuff out, actually.
I should make it a point to call into every radio show so I can spread like a virus like Agent Smith in The Matrix.
Silence.
Not a good idea.
I heard you. I was still trying to find what I was looking for, and I can't find it.
I thought I had like a dial-up soundbite that I was going to play, but I can't seem to find it.
Right. I have an Agent Smith one somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. Me.
Do you want to hear an audio I made? I'll send you one in the chat. Yeah, let me get on my regular computer.
While you're here, Jonathan, and while we have Austin in chat, and before we get out of here, we will be needing some like show promos and stingers and stuff like that for your guys' show. So like, just come on, give me a freeworld.fm with the name of your show, introduce yourselves, whatever it is, just like a real quick 15-second, 30-second, whatever you want, maybe one of each. Do a short version and a long version, and we'll send them over to Billy Ray, and we'll start doing promos. We are going to start including breaks at some point, like between shows. So instead of
that's going to be on the server. We're gonna have that again.
I don't know that you'll be able to hear it. So like, the shows won't end at the bottom of the hour. So instead of ending the show at say 6 a.m., right, it'll be more like 5:57, and we'll have 3 minutes of promos and commercials and shit like that for 3 minutes in between shows to break up the shows a little bit. Then if you want to include breaks and commercials and stuff in your own show, you'd have to program that audio on your end. But between the shows, we will start doing that soon, but we're going to need audio promos from all the shows as it is. So, and I think you guys I've already got thumbnails and stuff for you. By the way, if you guys want to change your thumbnails, it is a 600 pixel by 600 pixel. It's a square thumbnail for freeworld.fm, not like a YouTube thumbnail. So keep that in mind as well.
All right, let me just jump on here and send it to you.
You can just hang out for a few minutes after the chat and we can get all that right for y'all. Truly, Nuka, thank you so much for joining us today. I appreciate you reaching out earlier for making sure that could happen. And dude, that was just some amazing questions, some thought-provoking stuff. Thank you for helping us with that. Jonathan, as always, thank you, my friend. Glad to have you. Can't wait to hang out with you over there at your gig. Reach out.
Thanks. Yes, I will. Hey, Josh, can you play that real quick? That thing I just threw in chat?
Quite possibly.
And Nuka, I just want to say it was a pleasure meeting you.
Likewise, brothers.
And as always, Andrew B., sir, thank you. In many, many ways, you were just an integral part to so much going on in Flat Earth these days. So thank you, sir.
No problem. It's my pleasure. I enjoy it.
Yes, Andrew. Good seeing you.
See if this comes through.
And that's me imitating Morpheus.
Would you like me to give you the red pill?
Through my Yeti blue mic.
Eventually, the red pill would become the new blue pill.
I have the same exact mic.
Around you.
Yeah, it's great because I didn't know Logitech bought it. So when I had my G-Hub software, it has all these enhancements to the software that I never had before. If you download the LG Hub, Logitech G Hub, you'll have all these extra features, including, you know, sounds and voice changers and all these different things you can do with it.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. It was a surprise to me.
All right, then. I think we're going to wrap it up and get the hell out of here. Thanks, everybody. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will see you all back here Friday morning for another episode of the Ironworx right here on freeworld.fm. Otherwise, it'll be Friday evening on the Iron Realm Media YouTube channel for an exciting episode of Have No Sphere. Until then, you guys have a great rest of your week. Be good. Be well. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.